everybody, one more. So let's talk about what we should be, well, in my opinion, what would be smart to invest in the future and the curve of things. I want to talk a little bit about weed at first because it just became legal within the last few years and we're starting to see a rise of a lot of businesses and bars. I think investing anything in that, like grow houses, well, now they're grow factories, just dated myself, but like anything, edibles, vapes, I feel like a lot of people like pre-rolls, selling them like cigarettes. Oh, sorry. I tried to stop the ball. I was bad at it. I'm old. But, so investing anything in that would be smart. Let's see, what else do I think is good? Also, I don't want to say too much because I do have an idea, but I don't want anyone to snatch. But I'm saying as far as being a supplier, that would be a smart game to get in because, I mean, it's like liquor. Everybody buys it. It's legal now. You can get it anywhere. And there's competition for flavors and products. So maybe you'll invent something like Nike, but in weed, and it'll become the brand everybody loves. So I think that's smart. I mean, we're still working on the financials. I know it's a lot better than it was. When it first started happening, people had to like only deal in cash, but I think we're over that. I think there's ways that you can, because I can buy it with my credit card. So like we've come a long way from that. Don't let that scare you. Airbnbs, investing in rental properties. I think a lot more people are renting because, at least in my area and my state, the cost of buying a home is crazy. So people realistically are going to have to rent for a while. And a lot of people would rather rent houses than apartments. But at the same time, if you offer like a building like mine, who's in our own community, like every floor has laundry, we have a pool, we have a gym, there's amenities, that's worth money, especially in middle class to poor areas. You know, you still have like doctors and stuff that have to work in the hospital. Planting yourself around universities or colleges, you're always going to be able to make more in rent. I think real estate, the only really way to invest right now is, like I said, in rental properties, Airbnb, something you're going to be able to pay your own taxes off by allowing other people to use it. Tiny home villages. I just love this idea of these little communities springing up where everything's in walking distance. Because even if you only deal with the people on majority who live there, in the seasonal area, you can attach like an RV park or a campground to it. People love experiencing tiny villages, but not really wanting to give up their regular life. It could be a weekend thing. Maybe you could do seasonal rentals. Let them have the lifestyle or a taste of it, but also have the full-timers that take care of the businesses. Like you can have a whole village in a tiny home place, like a bar, a restaurant, a store, a marina, a beach. Like just offer multiple things to do. Really, people are really interested in going smaller and being more green. So anything like that, if you have like an RV park and it's ran by solar or wind energy, anything like that would be profitable. I told you. It's a small place, but they're being nice, so I'm not going to drink this myself. But what else do I think? Wind energy, solar energy, anything, those solar farms. I have one up near my house now. Back when I was a kid, they had windmill farms up in the hills. and there was just like mad windmills everywhere collecting energy, and the state would pay them for that energy. So anything like that, having a wind farm or a solar farm, is gonna be a huge payout, especially if shit goes down and you're still able to supply areas and you're the only one that can. You're gonna be able to make all the money. Adding it to your house is also a better investment for your future resale. I feel like adding solar to any like condo or house that you're trying to put on the market in the next couple of years, you're only making yourself more money if you do that. People are very into that. Green walls too. Let's see. What else do I think? Holistic medicine, I think, is on the rise. Making treatments like, I don't know if you've been following my journey where I'm testing a product that's called Happy Hoo-Ha. Like Hims or Hers, where you could virtually talk to a doctor and medicine is sent to your house without actually having to see a doctor. All this kind of environment was created by COVID, and I feel like it's only gonna amp up with doctor shortages. And you know, you always hear about BetterHelp and getting psychologists online. So I think any kind of practice where you put that into effect, where you can speak to a doctor and get medicine, I think people are scooping that shit up, especially with mental health. Am I for it? No. I think I had a horrible experience, but that's my own experience. I still think that a lot of people are willing to try it with their busy schedules. Believe it or not, children's books, always going to be reading to kids at that time. You get yourself a successful kids series, you could get a TV show off of it. Same thing with like a teen series, getting it onto a show, investing in those kind of things will be really profitable for you. Hollywood kind of sucks right now. All they're doing is remaking shit because nobody has any authentic ideas. That's why J.K. Rowling rose up when she did. She had this amazing idea, and she was somebody like me, just living a regular life, and she wrote a book and kids fucking loved it. That's still very much a possibility. Books into TV shows, into movies is where it's at. Music stores, I think, need to make a comeback. I'm not sure if that's a wise investment for like a grand scale, but if you're in a niche area with a lot of foot traffic for tourists, I think a record store would be awesome. People are very much into vinyl again, and I just think you'd make a fucking killing selling real records, because the only place you can get them is ordering them online, really. So I miss going to a music store. CDs and records and books about the artists and like posters and shit. I think that you're gonna have to have a store and an online base, and your online is probably gonna be a majority of your income, but people like me still love those niche record stores. There's nothing like going to a record store and picking out a vinyl and being able to take it home with you right then and there. Food trucks. Food truck nation. I think that's on a rise. I think a lot of people, instead of having restaurants, I think it's more profitable for the owner, and you have more freedom. You can change your look, you can change what you are offering when you get sick of something. You're not invested in a restaurant that people get used to, and yes, they get used to your food trucks. If you just paint that food truck a different color and rename it, I don't know what happens to that food truck. I mean, they might recognize your mug, just like, I got a new flavor, onto new things. Like, it's more freedom, and it's more money in your pocket. Plus, you can charge more on a food truck than you can in a restaurant, apparently. Movie production companies, let's face it, old Hollywood is getting their asses handed to them, and we need a whole new safe zone for creative people. Invest in that. I don't know if you should invest in anything online or Bitcoin, because supposedly when shit does go down, what do you think is the first thing that's gonna go? Internet and phones. what are you going to do when you can't access it? I'm still kind of person that buries it in their coffee can.